Hey guys, Alden Rio here for your Friday spot here on the Pagan Perspective. This week we have a series of questions about. Uh, we actually have a series of questions that the substitute host asked, and I'm going to go ahead and tackle those one by one for you here. I picked a little lovely spot to sit down and get this information to you guys, and actually a good spot for my show and tell part of my question that's going to be asked here. So. How do you know that you're on the right path? And that is a question that a lot of people seek. I mean, you even have Christians that want to know if Christianity is really what they should be following. You get constant questions over and over again. I know that we're in these times of viruses and war and such, and people have been reevaluating their religion for quite a bit. So I can understand, whether you're pagan or what have you, that a lot of people want to know, are they on the correct path? And in every instance, that's going to be a very personal, a very personal aspect of who you are and whether you're on the correct path. What I will say is that one way of knowing if you're on the correct path or not is are you accomplishing your goals, right? If you set a goal and you fail to accomplish it, something's wrong. You're not on the right path, right? Everything that we do as humans is usually results based, right? You go to grade school to get good grades, to get better grades, to get into a better college, to get a better job. So as far as knowing if you're on the correct path, I would say that the results is something that's extremely important. Whether or not you are preparing, basically hitting these milestones. Forward progress, right? So, for example, if you would like to be pagan or whatever religion that falls under your particular flavor of paganism, if you decide that, hey, within 6 months I want to have my third eye open and I want to be speaking with spirits within 6 months, and you fail to do that, it's likely that there's something wrong, that you could be moving along the wrong path. There's a way of testing that. You got to set like milestones. If you don't meet those milestones, it may be time for adjustments. Maybe yours is a year, maybe yours is 2 years. Again, this is very, very personal, but I would suggest looking toward evaluating it if you're able to accomplish these results or not. That's kind of a way to know if you're on the right path. For the second question, show and tell. Like, I'm out here in this beautiful park here, and it's quite amazing that there are a lot of monuments and things for certain situations that occurred in Washington, D.C. We had a D.C. sniper a few years ago. I know not everybody may remember that because they're not so close. I know that the Pagan Perspective is worldwide, so you guys may not even know that we had a sniper situation, but it was devastating, and they have a memorial here at the park that I'm at. I'm going to go around so you can see the beauty here. See how beautiful this park is, and even now there are people here who are enjoying this park, and it's just beautiful. I come here quite often to let off energy and kind of clear my head and things, and this is exceptionally beautiful. And there's much more to the park, but I like this particular area because of its you can get so close to the water here, and you can't see it, but from the vantage point of these people here, there are like 16 turtles literally just in the water there, and that's amazing. Those guys are pulling in all that lovely nature over there. So that pretty much ends my show and tell portion. The next portion is, what is your connection to divination? As a shamanic practitioner, I would say divination is very, very important. I rely heavily on tarot readings, pendulum readings, quite often. I consult them with which job, I consult them when I'm going for job interviews. I've consulted them for mates. My current wife, I ran the cards on her to see if I should be with her or not. Like, tarot cards are very important. That is my most chosen method of divination is tarot cards for that reason. I think they're very effective, very, very powerful, and if you are someone who's been on the fence and didn't know whether or not you wanted to get involved with the cards, I urge you. I say go ahead and give into that push. Buy yourself a deck, or even get an app, because what I've noticed is that in some instances the apps are strikingly accurate, as if you had done a physical card spread. How to connect with and show respect for ancestors. How to connect with and show respect for ancestors. I always offer my meals to my ancestors. I always do my best to offer loving energy to them whenever I can, and that doesn't just stop at blooded ancestors. This also goes into just general people who came before me and are dead. If you know me personally, you'll know that whenever I drive past a graveyard, I always say a few words. Even if I'm driving in a busy traffic, I always say a few words. Even if I see a hearse, I always say a few words just to honor that they came before me, that they're someone who likely dealt with heartbreak, likely dealt with business deals. They had an experience here on this planet before you did, and in that respect, they are considered ancestors of your human race. So I even honor people who aren't even blooded in that way. I think it's important because for me, the best way to learn something is to learn from the mistake of others, right? It's best to learn from their pain. It's best to learn from their strife and to incorporate the antidotes into your path. That's the best way to learn. Pain is something that can motivate and cause massive change, but it can also cause loss, and you don't want to have to deal with that. So if you can learn from someone else's loss, in this case, your spiritual ancestor, because they're not blooded, just by learning about their life, reading about what happened, even just reading a headstone could offer so much inspiration to correcting you on your path if you feel like you're like wavering in things. What do we think of the Fae, or what are the fairies? What they asked. And the Fae, the fairy, they are a large species of beings that exist on a different energetic realm. That's the best way I can describe it. And the Fae just don't look like, Peter Pan's Fae, with like butterflies kind of buzzing and small next to your head. They are certainly Fae that are like that, but then there's also Fae that are huge, almost the size of dragons, or even half human, half horse style Fae as well. All of this information is kind of been picked and pushed inside of different role-playing games and different books and things. If you notice, Bethesda has done an amazing job of putting high elves and low elves and things inside of their fiction. And to me, that is a sign that these people have connections with the spiritual realms, and they've either had some kind of crazy, like, drug-induced wild time and have popped into a Fae realm and actually saw these beings and spoke with them, or they could be kind of what I've told you guys before, is that some of you have ancestry where you were of a Fae lineage, and that could be thousands of years ago on a different realm. So to answer that question for yourself, you have to go into deep meditation. You have to speak with your higher self and spirit guides. You have to find out what your lineage is, and for you to ask that question, that could be you feeling a pull to look more into the Fae world anyway. There could be a chance that you're related to them. Perhaps you were a Fae person, and this is kind of trying to connect more with those people again, and to learn from their magic and their lessons. So I would say give in to that pull. If it's just getting a Fae tarot card deck, or a oracle deck, or just getting an oracle deck, you might be surprised what message the Fae have laid out for you, since you feel this pull. I hope that just about answers the question for you guys. The sun is coming out here. We're getting a wonderful treat because it's been overcast all day and it's been kind of icky, so it's nice to get a little bit of sun. Hope that answers the question for you guys. I will see you guys back here on The Pagan Perspective next week. Thanks for watching, and blessed be.